Hey crafty friends, it's voiceover me here, and I'm back this week with something a little special. But before we get into that, if you are new here, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Rain, this is my craft channel, and I try to release different crafts every week. So, if you hit that subscription button, you'll be sure never to miss one of my crafts that I release. And who knows, one of them might give you some great inspiration. Now, this craft I've done this week was inspired by and created for one of my followers. Her name and YouTube handle is Patricia Peak Finding My Tiara. Absolutely love it. She's got a fabulous little channel, so if you are interested in makeup and beauty products and things like that, just pop along and have a little look for me. I've only been uploading my crafts to YouTube now for a few months, but Patricia has been there from the start. She never fails to comment on all my videos and compliment all my crafts, and when I found out more about this warrior of a woman, I just knew that I had to make a craft in her honour. So when I asked Patricia what she liked, she gave me a pretty good list of things to pick from. She made it pretty easy for me to find things in all of the stuff that she enjoys there. I had so many different ideas and projects. The craft gremlins were working in overdrive. So who knows, we may end up circling back to some of these ideas in the future craft videos. But what jumped out to me here was the tropical beaches and of course something glittery. So here it is, let's get into it, and Patricia, I hope you like it, my sweet. Now, if you've seen my other coaster videos, we always start off with the same sort of products here. I've just got a plain cork coaster for the bottom, and I've got a thin piece of cork that I'm tearing along just to create what is going to be the first line in the sand. We don't really need any much precision here, but once you're happy with the shape that you've got, just go ahead and glue all of that down. We want to put as much glue on this project as we possibly can, because next, the fine glitter. Now, this project is going to need a lot of glitter, and it's important that you use fine glitter for this bottom part to create that sand look. There you can see I'm just showing you that once it's all dry, very little glitter should come off. And we want this tropical beach coaster to look as realistic as we possibly can. So there, I've dug out a few of my little shells and some little tiny starfish that I had, and I was just playing around here to see really how many I could get in. The look and idea that I was going for is I wanted this drinks coaster to look as if the tide had just washed in and then was going to wash out again. I tried to achieve that look with some different size glitter a bit later on, so we'll come back to that. But as of now, I'm just playing around, finding out which little pieces I'm going to fit in, and in the end I decided to go for just one shell and two tiny little starfish. And once you're happy with what you want on your beach there and what shells you've got, I just went in and sort of roughly, and really again no precision here, made a circle around the shell so I knew that it was big enough, and just slightly started to pick away at that cork. We obviously want to go down to the first layer of the cork board, and I also had to go slightly deeper into the actual coaster that's underneath that cork layer itself, simply to make sure that these shells and anything else that you put on these coasters are flat. After all, this does need to be a working drinks coaster, and we cannot be having too many lumps and bumps. And once I was happy with the size of the hole, and you can see there the shell's fitting in nice and snugly, so it does look like it's been, buried by sand, I'll go ahead and we'll start doing the similar type thing with the starfish. Now, these were a little harder to cut out, but look, it doesn't need to be too precise, and in fact I think giving them a little bits of gaps around the edge added to the realism in the end of it. So the idea really is just to get them in and get them flat. That's the main thing. Don't worry too much about those holes. As you can see, I have already gone in with that fine glitter, and again then when just pushing the shells and starfish in. Here I've just mixed a little bit of glitter and glue, and I'm going around the edges of these starfish and slightly on the lip of the sand there, just to again to add a little bit of depth a little bit of dimension, and to really try and make this look as if it is real glitter sand. Now, I said earlier on I wanted to look like the waves have been coming in and out, and so the idea that I had here, and although you can't see very well with my camera angles, I do apologise, but what I'm doing on the opposite corner to what will be the ocean, behind those shells, I'm using thick glitter. Now, you might not think there's much difference between fine glitter, thick glitter, but doing it in this order, using that fine glitter as the base sand and this thick glitter as the sand at the back, really did help with that illusion of the wave coming in and out, and it actually worked a lot better than I thought it would. Of course, a lot of glitter was used, and of course so was a lot of glue, but we want this project to be able to be usable and durable. But of course, with glue comes drying time, and this was probably the hardest part of this project because I had to be patient and let parts dry. But of course, I wanted this to be as perfect as it possibly can, so we're going to put all of that aside for the moment, and we're going to focus on the waves and the idea I had for sea foam. Now, I had these little glow-in-the-dark crystals, as you can see there, and I had to pick through the colours that were ocean colour. I also dug out some of my other little crystals that I had, again in blues and whites, and I added some little blue sparkles, which I'll later add to the ocean. But back to that sea foam. Now, Patricia loves sparkly things, so there was no way we were getting away with just boring white sea foam. So I found my most sparkly rocks that I could possibly find, and I added some glow-in-the-dark ones in there, just for good measure. Now, I am using UV resin here, and I'm just simply laying those crystals down and using some clear UV resin, which I'm curing with a UV lamp as I go along, all along the lip of what will become the edge of the ocean. And once I was happy with that, I just went in with my light blue UV resin, and again just dragging that down the coaster, being careful to make sure that you're getting none of those air bubbles, and just building up the layers as I go along. And once I was about halfway down, I put my light blue resin aside and started going in with the dark blue resin. Now, I just build this up layer by layer until I was happy with the sort of look that I had there. We will come back and we will add a little bit more special sparkle and some other bits to this ocean, but for right now, all I was trying to do was get those colours correct and give it that real tropical feel of sitting on a luxury beach, somewhere amazing, the sun shining down and that beautiful ocean glistening in front of you. And hey, do you know what? Sitting on a beach made of sand? No. Sitting on a beach made of glitter? Now that sounds luxurious. Okay, I've just thought about what I have said. Sitting on a beach made of glitter may be luxurious, but could you imagine trying to wash that stuff off when you get home? I mean, when I use glitter for my crafts, I end up finding the stuff everywhere. It really isn't called the herpes of the craft world for nothing. But when a friend says she wants sparkle, sparkle she will have. And you know what? My craft gremlins already have glitter herpes and they love it. Ta-da! A blue ocean. And you might notice there I've managed to stick some sparkly little blue stars inside. Not too many, but just enough to give an extra little sparkle to that sea. But we're not finished yet. Now I do make sure that all those bottom layers of the ocean are cured, and then I go in over the top with another layer of clear UV resin, and here you can see I've just mixed up some white pigment with some UV resin. I've tried to keep it as transparent as possible, just so that I knew that the UV would work, and I'm simply going in and around all those different little crystals and rocks that we've created there to represent the sea foam. And once I placed my white resin down, I simply used a straw to blow it outwards into that clear resin that we had already laid down earlier on. Now this is a technique that you can find all over YouTube and other social media platforms when they do ocean resin scenes and things like that. So I really haven't invented anything new. But using this technique on top of those little crystals and glowstones that we had put down earlier on really did give it a more realistic look, and I actually loved it. I think I'll definitely use this technique again somehow on another project, but for now I was very happy. I think the important thing here to remember when doing this white sea foam is obviously not to cure it at any point until you are fully ready. There is the clear resin underneath, which is helping for the white resin to move into. So obviously you don't want to cure any of this until you're happy with the marks and movements that you have within that white pigment itself. Now I'm adding a little bit here in the middle of the ocean, again just to add to that illusion that perhaps a wave is already pulling away from the beach. And there you can see it. Now we are close to finishing, but did you glimpse that ugly bottom and those ugly sides? Yes, I am a messy crafter, and most of you that have been viewing for a little while now have probably gathered that. But that's okay, everything can be fixed. I'm just going back in here with a bit of glue. What I've decided to do on top here is to add a bit more of the thick glitter before I do go back in around the sides of the coaster with the thin glitter. Again, this was a little bit messy and I didn't really film it very well, so I'm going to skip that bit, but you get the idea. I just went right round the edge of the coaster with glue and simply rolled it in glitter. I did do this twice. Again, I do want it to be a functioning, working coaster, not just a pretty little object. So I made sure that every layer that I did was not only coated in extra glue, but had several layers of glitter on there to really add that depth and give it the look I was going for. And there's that chunky glitter, which I am only putting around that one side, and also on the parts where it is on the beach, to again give the illusion that a wave has just washed in and washing out again. Of course, I did have a brief for this project and I wanted to make sure that I stuck to that brief. So wherever I could get more glitter on, I did. And of course, we can't forget that ugly bottom. That's not looking so ugly now. No, she's shining like a star. And I have, of course, used thin glitter on the bottom as we did on the top. And I've done that twice. Now, you could, of course, stop there. That's fine. But I wanted to add one other little element of texture to the ocean. So I've laid down some Mod Podge, very heavy gloss Mod Podge, in this style to give it effect that the sea is rippling. I let it dry and repeated the same process again. And there you have it, we're complete. A tropical beach coaster. The sand is made of glitter, we have little tiny starfish, a hidden little shell, some fabulous sea foam, glistening ocean with depths of colour, not to forget the little sparkles that are hiding on the inside. Now this whole project was of course inspired by Patricia, and if you haven't already gone over to her channel and taken a look and subscribed, go there straight away. But she wanted something sparkly, and I do hope my craft gremlins have delivered what she was expecting. Patricia probably already knows this because she's been following me for a little while now, but I do love using LED lights and glow-in-the-darks in my project, so I had to add a little bit of me somewhere. And it's kind of giving bioluminescent plankton, do you think? And of course you can't see it during the day, so hopefully Patricia won't mind. I added a little bit of rain to her project. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I really do love getting feedback, comments, or even ideas, so if you do have any of those, do drop them in the comments below. But as always, I have been Rain, you have been fabulous, and I hope to catch you again soon. Bye bye.